Our project is on the War of the First Coalition with me, Kevin, and Tyler. Well, you see, France and Europe got in an argument. They argued over the status of imperial estates in Alsace. I don't know what that is, and neither should you. Honestly, I bet Scott doesn't even know what that is. But then the nobles in other countries like Austria, Netherlands, and Germany were like, yo bro, I'm mad. And France was like, oh noes. So France declared war on Austria because they were scared. Austria was going to do something to them, and they sort of hated them. Lol. On April 20th, 1792, that's my birthday, by the way, get me a present. How messed up is that? That's like when a girl breaks up with you because she doesn't want you to break up with her. France equals your girlfriend while she's paranoid on her period. Except your girlfriend never surrenders. Anyways. About
to
see
France.
Get
trolled.
So
France.
This
Des Moines
guy
from
France
was
like,
hey,
let's
invade
Austria.
His
soldiers
were
like
dudes scared,
and
so
when
they
had
to
fight,
they
all
deserted.
So Prussia, who were allies of the Austrian Netherlands, were harboring King Louis XVI. They delivered an army of seasoned Prussian war veterans, led by the brilliant General Charles William Ferdinand, the Duke of Brunswick-Wolfenbüttel on the Rhine at Koblenz. He adamantly defended Louis XVI with a letter as Kevin, I can't see Wikipedia, 1 second. So, anyway, so Prussia, led by Charles William Ferdinand, defended the king and tried to threaten people, but it backfired and they stormed his palace. Ironic. So on September 20th, they tied at the Battle of Valmy, and even though it was a standstill, they got motivated and were like, wow, we can do it. Even though, to be honest, they really didn't do anything right there. Then Prussia was like, dang, it's too hard. So right there, Prussia realized it was not worth it, so they raised quit. On top of that, France put the pawn in Savoy in a city named Nice in Italy. Even though they asked me it actually wasn't nice, haha, because they invaded it. It's probably pronounced Nice or something, though, because it's French. But then some Prussian general invaded Germany up to Frankfurt, so Dumouriez from now we'll call him Big D, tried to invade Belgium and actually won. By the way, if you don't remember, they're fighting the Austrians. Yeah, November 6th, they put the pawn in the Austrians at Jemappes. This is the first thing the French actually won a victory in the war, and after all that turning, I guess this is pretty exciting. January 21st, they executed Louis XVI because they have a eugenic program. They didn't like how his genital works. Actually, it's because he was an asshole and neglected to give his country fair rights and the like, but in the end, it was just the execution of a prank! So right here, Spain, Naples, and Netherlands team up against France. Even England, who was at first like, good job, France, is now like, I'm deleting you off Facebook. France turns into a loner because everybody deletes him off their medieval Facebook, which back in the day is also known as declaring war.
Oh, snap. After this, even the leaders of France were just crapping their pants. They asked America to give some help to fight with France, and they thought they deserved it, because they helped in the American Revolution. Thus, the French ambassador visited George Washington, and it went something like this.
George Washington, sir, we require your assistance in the French Revolution.
GTFO, you're screwed. To confirm aliens exist, this war might be one case that supports it because it's so whacked up. Well, France was all alone against all of Europe, and out of nowhere in 1794, they just started pulling out victories like they were at a senior citizen's home playing bingo. So for the entire nations of Europe against one nation who was already in financial crisis before the war starts pulling out victories like this, it's like Samir picking up chicks at the Seneca Club.
But it actually worked.
First season of Pokemon, all Pikachu did was attack Ash even though he was a starter. This French general named General Pichegru should basically just be called General Pikachu because that's pretty much what all he was. General Pichegru betrayed France and got a critical hit at the Battle of Mainz.
And you know how later Pikachu becomes Ash's best friend? What doesn't happen here? This guy plans another coup d'etat and ends up getting strangled in prison. You just shut up. GG.
France pretty much curb stomped Prussia and Austria, and they signed the Peace of Basel that gave France some land left of the Rhine River and some soldiers that were held captive during the war. Next year, French makes 3 army fronts led by 3 generals. To make things easier to understand, let's make General Jourdan Mr. Devine, General Moreau Mr. Keolian, and General Bonaparte Mr. Scott. During the war, Devine and Keogh attacked Rhine, and Mr. Scott invaded Italy. Mr. Scott, being the troll he is, pwns Italy. He splits his army up, does some truly unorthodox moves, and by the end, Italy is just another Billy Goat who can't pass that bridge. And Mr. Scott just shows him who's boss. Keogh and Devine, on their hand, are too busy arguing whether or not they should invest in Apple stocks, and they just get pwned. Moral of the story? Never put Devine and Keolian on the same team. During the final battle of the war at Mantua, Napoleon surrounds the Austrian army. Those kids must have had some French blood in them, because they surrendered right there. Anyways, the Treaty of Campo Formio gave France, Belgium, Rhinoceros Land, and Italy. The War of First Coalition finally ends.
GG no re.